Morning all. It is Friday, August 7th, tomorrow, August 8th. That's a big day for me. Used to be, well, let's just go back to August 8th, 2008. I was in a motorcycle accident that day, heading out of town. Market was, I mean, it had started falling apart. But things were still working for me. My business was still good. I still had quite a bit flowing in, so it wasn't rough. But at the time, I was doing the management job, doing a loan originator job countrywide before all that fell apart. And then in the evenings, I come home, eat dinner, and I go to a shop, and I was basically redoing this double decker bus with some buddies of mine. If you can look it up, it's called Shagadelica. It's taken to Burning Man every year. We were stripping that thing down, you know, cut that thing up, wrapped it in fur, put a big old cruise ship horn on it, put a DJ booth, building a trailer to house basically it was a dance platform with trusses. It's just crazy. Check it out. Well, I was working basically like a month straight, sleeping 4 hours a night, going back and forth. And it was August 8th. It was a Friday. I need to get my head clear. I just ordered a 2008 Harley Crossbones, had not come in yet. So I went to one of the dealers that was renting things out from their fleet, and I took one of those bikes and was heading out of town for 3 days. Going to go just ride, clear my head. 15 minutes into that ride, I was taken out. I had my cruise set at 74. A truck that was next to me for a couple miles flipped on his blinker, started coming into me. I looked, there was nobody next to me. I hit the throttle to get away. I leaned that bike hard, and just then somebody was passing me, and I clipped their front bumper, went tumbling. So woke up in the hospital completely unconscious. Well, I was unconscious, woke up in the hospital later that night after some surgeries, and asked my wife. I could see Rizzo's face there. I said, where am I at? And you could tell by her response, it's probably like the 50th time I asked that question. So my memory had been basically wiped. So it took me months, to learn how to walk again, to get my memory back, really, because my memory only lasts like 3 minutes. So tomorrow marks 12 years ago when that happened. I used to go drive the route every day, 12:24 in the afternoon, and remember that situation because it was a life-changing experience. And a couple of years ago, I said, to hell with that. I'm no longer, that's in the rearview mirror. I don't care. I'm going this way. I learned my lessons from what I need to learn. There was a lot of them. It takes too long to explain it here, but there's a lot of great lessons learned. And so I started moving forward. I don't look back at that anymore. I don't let that control my world. I used to kind of celebrate it. Now it's just like, hey, it happened. It occurred. I need to maintain what I learned from that and keep moving forward. So I just recognized that as I looked down at the date, and I had to share that story. So where are we at today? So the market, as we saw last week, was actually no, on Tuesday. You saw right here, it was peaking out. I was kind of worried that we might get, that we were going to hit a top, and we did. It went way down. So I refrained on some locks for a window here, and we're starting to crawl right back up into these channels. Some of the locks actually stayed the same. So we didn't really see a lot of difference. There were some deals I was able to just, get the rate same as it was over here. I try and watch that every day. So as you can see, we're going to keep maintaining this channel. It doesn't seem like we're going to get a whole lot of variant in there. But we have found that there is a ceiling over here that we just keep hammering. So we'll see how that continues to play out as the market continues on. But I thought that might be something that would be stopping us from seeing that continued improvement within the interest rates, because there's only so much money going in there. What's interesting is I've noticed that when the Fed stops putting their capital in, you start to see what really happens at the end of the day. And there's some big swings that happen at the end of the day. So sometimes we want to wait until we lock to the next morning, sometimes just because of what's happening. Or, if there was very, very little movement and I see some reason to pull a trigger. Also, if we got some closings coming up and where the rates are right now, it's a gift. It's a huge gift. So trying to play the markets are almost kind of unnecessary in today's world. One of the things I want to hit on, we talked about income, things to that effect. Self-employed income. So the self-employed borrower, I get it. When you're working with your CPA, you want to write off everything you can. You want to be cautious of what it is you're counting as income and not counting as income. Use every deduction you can, trying to avoid the taxable liabilities. I get that. But guys, think about this when you're a real estate investor. The taxable benefits of having a real estate portfolio coupled with the capability to have those deductions as a self-employed person are huge. But sometimes your attack on your self-employment income can stifle your ability to grow your real estate wealth. And now, not only do you not have that long-term wealth of real estate, but you also lose all the tax deduction of real estate. So really talk to your CPA about that. The other thing is, you're going to be asked to provide a P&L. When you provide that P&L, if your P&L shows a downward trend from previous years, just know you're going to probably have a hard time getting a loan, because we're trying to show, previous years. Let's say right now you haven't filed your 2019 taxes. We're going to look at 2017, 2018. More than likely, we're going to see some gradual improvement there, and more. It's very often you start seeing businesses doing better year over year. But if you give us a year-to-date tax return, year-to-date P&L, and you've estimated what your income is, and it's less, significantly 10, 20, 30% less than you were before, especially if we're talking big drops like 30, 40%, 50%, just know we're going to have a hard time getting a loan done, because it looks like your business is failing. So be cautious of that as you're looking at your finances and you're trying to apply for loans. If that is the case in your business, just know you're going to have a difficulty getting financing. Don't get frustrated. Don't get mad at the lenders. That's ultimately, they got to prove that they're not putting you in a financial position you cannot afford. And if you're saying, hey guys, those are the numbers that I work with to try and avoid taxes, then avoid your taxes. If that's what you want to avoid taxes, go for it. Have at that. I've heard that excuse too many times. I can't work my way through your income to make you qualify when you've told us your income is less, regardless of how creative you've gotten, regardless of how many bank statements you give me to show how much income flows in. But if a bunch of income flows in and you're reporting to the world on your tax returns and your P&Ls that more is flowing out than what you're retaining, and it's costing you more to do your business to get that kind of flow, then I don't care what's coming into your account, because you're telling me what's going out is in excess of what you're retaining as an actual income. So think about those things before you start to apply for loans as to whether or not you believe you can reasonably get this done, because you're going to be met with disappointment. We've got to show you're trending improvement or staying stable. Stable's fine. Slight dips, it happens. But when we're talking huge jumps to the negative, you're going to run into some problems there. So we got to look at the last 2 years' taxes for you personally and for your business. If you have a K1, K1 is kind of like a W-2 for self-employed. It's going to go on your Schedule E. And if it says you have more than 25% ownership in a business, we got to look at that business returns. We got to factor all that stuff in. So I know that we don't, when you have depreciation on your assets in your business, we know that that's not a real expense. So we add that back in. So don't worry about the depreciation piece, but do worry about things that you are actual expenses. And then when it comes to your P&Ls, remember, it doesn't have to be audited. It doesn't have to be anything that's really, really fancy. Just do a form. Show, here's my income, here's my outgoing, here's my bottom line. If it's trending similar or up, you're in pretty good shape. If it's trending down, got to look at your business, see what's happening there. Try and get that under control so that we can qualify for financing. The benefits of owning long-term investment like real estate. It's really a business like real estate. The tax deductions, the tax benefits, the wealth creation that it is. And just know we're going to do our best to help you get there. But you gotta also take a look at your information first before you send it over and verify that you're in a position to be able to get that financing.